Your father works very hard for his money, and you waste it all on records.
Because standing here right now at my full presence, I'm quite old, and in my life I have been digitized twice. And every time I came out physically stronger. And that is the nature of the beast. To give you the background, I started a professional life in DuPont de Nemours, an American chemical company based in Wilmington, Delaware, and I was working in silver halide. Do you remember? Yeah, there were once companies like Aqua, Fuji, and Kodak. And when I was young, I visited Kodak in Rochester, and it was a giant. Yeah? Kodak, world patents holder. They're the only company in the world ever that could coat 8 layers of liquids on top of each other. Gold mine. You know where they are now? Not even listed on the New York Stock Exchange anymore. Less than penny stock. Digitized. And before I go into my presentation, don't be too much offended, The king is dead, long live the king. And I think it describes a little bit the cycle of vinyl. Yeah? Dead, being dead, and now it's a challenge, I think. How do we keep that very delicate little baby alive? That is the challenge. And I think in the last 2 days I was listening very carefully and I made some notes. First of all, I think I would like to thank the people from the initiative of the Record Store Day. And I think for their creativity, determination, and their vision, and to see the potential and to excite customers again for that format is just a bloody great job. Thank you very much for that, and I hope you keep on working hard, because at the end of the day, in everything that we do, there's only 2 important people. The customer at the end of the day who opens his wallet, and the artist who creates and has a message or a value proposition to that very specific consumer. And all the rest of us, manufacturer, mixing, people like me, being in management, hanging around, making a lot of money, we are not relevant. Yeah? We are servants in that chain, and I think that puts everything a little bit in perspective. A couple of years ago, and I run the European and nowadays the worldwide and global operation, I tried to get ahead of the curve by training my people from my previous history. And that is very important. I think the easiest and cheapest learning you can ever get is learn from the history. Other people have done it, yeah, so you can learn for free. The other thing I learned this morning in the panel, to never use the word ever or never. I'll give you an example for that. Margaret Thatcher, she said, this issue is settled once and for all. It lasted exactly 40 years. Now we know the definition what once and for all is. It's exactly 40 years. So that is not happening again. So be careful to use those words forever. And a very, very important thing, I think hopefully there's some takeaway when you go home. Take home what Bob Mould yesterday said. And he elaborated his recording, but also his consumption of music. And then he said something, I invest in buying a record. Very important. A record purchase is an investment. We make a value proposition and someone consciously makes a decision to invest his hard-earned money in a recording. And he used that word, and that dawned on me, that is what it really is. And it closes a little bit the loop of the slides that you will see, because I jump ahead, I passionately hate devaluation of the product, because it devalues the artist, the recording work, everyone's work, and it devalues what the consumer just has bought. If I buy my Mercedes for 40,000 euro right now, and he comes tomorrow and tells me, oh, I got mine for half price. Fuck you, Mercedes, you know? Why do I have to spend all the money? Now, a little bit to hopefully what people are looking for, the lecturing part. If I take, am I in the side here? I can go upstairs. But I hate to stand behind you because you are not seeing my really full size. What did I find? Again, now you can make the loop to my previous history. I looked into why did our beautiful business, which was gold in those days, it died. It got digitized, you know, and what happened, oops, no, back, here is the lighter. Film and film cameras, it was a good business. Associated to that was a coating business, yeah. We made shitloads of money. Not only from consumer, that was a very, very tough business, consumer business, but it was also professional. X-ray, remember those? When you went to hospital? Yeah, and the printing industry used quite a substantial amount of films. And then digital came along. And it all happened at the end of the day within about 4 Christmases or 5. That was it. Business was transformed in one go. Bloody hell, I don't get this one. And then a digital camera came along. Our savior. That was supposed to save the industry. No, it didn't, because what happened around this time, 2007, 2009, Cupertino, California, Mr. Apple invented something they called the iPhone, and with the iPhone there came a camera, and when you project this now further out and you look, digital camera, maybe you project the vinyl in there, digital camera is already in the decline, it's already gone. Yeah, digital cameras for about $50 or $60 are no longer on the shelf, nobody buys them. And the brainchild here that was invented, this was Pandora's box. The mobile phone with a camera. And when you look at the latest editions, you know, they have not only one camera, the latest mobile phones have 3, and the overall film making, picture taking, wouldn't even fit on that slide because it is skyrocketing. I think they expect about 350 billion pictures taken in a year. Things like Instagram, I don't know how many every single day are uploaded. So why do I say that? I said to my team, look guys, I do not want to end in this business to be a business case in Harvard. Kodak and others, they missed the boat. They are gone, and you can find them to be a business case in Harvard nowadays. People take learnings from it. Yeah? And then they say, oh, they didn't see it. Yeah? They didn't make it quick enough. They saw it. CEO gave a big speech, this is the end, this is coming, and then there were very linear projections, this goes down, we go here, we invest in there. Big mistake. Number one, technology was quicker, and the consumer made his decision far quicker than a big old-fashioned company could envision. Why do I show you that? I think it's very, very similar to what a couple of years later is happening in music, in the conversion from physical to digital. The good news is there is still film cameras around. There is high-end cameras around. And some people spend more money than ever on the Canons, Sony, Alphas, what else do we have? The Nikons or whatever. Yeah, but this is the high-end niche market. And that brings me to where I think, in my humble opinion, now it's not working anymore. The business is right now. Yes, we are not in denial that streaming or the digital format seems to be the winning format. CD is declining. But we have the vinyl business that is a value proposition that the consumer is accepting. They love it. Yeah? The hype around it, the nostalgia, sound quality, the experience. The very same thing, yeah? You could endlessly argue, is a picture that I take with my Sony camera equally as good as a Hyundai Pro 10? Probably, because I'm an amateur, I'm not using it to the full scale of its ability anyway. So, this is how we see the picture in 2018. Yes, there is still growth. Europe, moderate. North America, moderate. Latin America, decline. And I'll tell you about Latin America a little bit. And some in Asia. I think it would have been totally wrong to expect the vinyl market to double every year. Yeah, there was a time when that happened. But there is somewhere a ceiling to it. Yeah? And it would have been the greatest misery on earth to double it because we wouldn't have been able to supply it. Yeah? There's not enough capacity, not enough output overall. And that is how we see the market, and I think even if we have another 1 or 2, 3 or 4 years of growth, I think it will be a moderate one, and sooner or later it may even come to a halt. And that is where I think we have to all start rethinking. Number one is always gaining new customers. A very interesting field as well is how do you maintain your customers? Yeah, and I think we have a very good basis built up with the initiatives around Record Store Day in recreating a value. Let's make sure that those who are now hooked or getting into are there. Retain them. That is a very, very challenging task, but I think if we want to survive, we have to succeed in maintaining the customers that have just gone into it. Yeah, people make an investment, they buy a player. Yeah, they want to be, yeah, they want to be groomed, yeah, they want to have that product. That I think is very clear, even though the market may not grow as it used to grow in the past. And now, the provocative headline that Nike put on the slides is "From niche to lifestyle to niche." Yes, we know, or we think we know, that about 20% of, or 25, some people say, a certain number of vinyls were never opened, collected. There was 1 year where IKEA had record sales in vinyl frames. Interesting. Yeah, obviously, people buy the record, never open it, put it in the frame, and hang it on the wall. And I agree, it was a sale. Yeah, on every sale there is a share of copyright or royalty, so it was part of that market. New vinyl buyers, how do we gain and how do we retain them? My theory, the bargain bin will not ensure the survival of the business. And that's exactly where we are right now. The pricing that I see, and that is now communicated with flyers and on TV, is horrible. Because remember my Mercedes example? Low price, low value, low quality, that's the end. Yeah? The value proposition is dwindling, going down. If you cannot convince someone that the product that you offer is worth it, it's worth it for two reasons. reasons. Number one, it's worth the content. There is an artistic recording on it. And it's worth the packaging and the presentation and the effort and the quality. That's why I'm really angry when things like this show up. This is European reality. This is the reality. I'm not making it up. Yeah? For Germans, 3 zum Sommerpreis, 3 for summer pricing for 35. MPEG in Poland, 3 for 2. Yeah? So my Miles Davis is only 1/3. It's just devalued. Yeah? MediaMarkt Saturn, opportunistic. Retail is bloody opportunistic. They have to be. Yeah? They pay rent, they have fixed costs, cost per square meter, and now Fnac 10 a piece. So I said to myself, how the hell does this all come together? It does not fit with the price books that I have with vinyl manufacturing. I have no idea. 10 in-store price, remember, a 10er in-store in Germany means there's VAT inclusive. So take the first 20% out, this is the government's going to get it, makes it 830. Net price to retail, because retail gets a margin, is then 640. I have copyright to pay, I have artist royalties to pay. Yeah. I have distribution, all the distribution we need to distribute in the pizza boxes and so on, you know. Vinyl is a very sensitive product. I have manufacturing, and I think only euro 80, euro 50. I haven't not yet received and bought a vinyl for €1 a piece. Maybe I buy too expensive, but whatever it is, yeah. How do we make money? How does anyone make money for a tenner a piece? And if you now consider, and we are in the process that it's eroding, that we have to take returns on a tenner a piece, I cannot make a business out of it. And I cannot convince that this is a sustainable long-term business. And on top, and this is my key message for today, it's a frustration for a consumer. If I buy a Miles Davis, which is probably one of the famous jazz artists, and in a collector's item at 25, and the next day someone sells it at Fnac or in Poland, because product travels. Don't get me wrong, you know, Poland is within the European Union. These products and these ads are traveling, and they are setting the consumer expectation. This is out. The dogs are out, and they are barking. Yeah, and it's a very, very challenging task to get them all back to the reality what we really want. Yeah, the value proposition. Priceless or worthless, yeah, that is the change. Please, and whoever is in the chain, I think, not only from the perspective of a major or something like that. Yeah, in our world, when I look at and I have a discussion with the CFO, and he has this big oil tanker, and he always says, okay, look at Sweden, 97% of our revenues are already digital. What do you want to do with physical? And he throws it all into the same bin. CD, vinyl is only 3%. But more and more artists are wanting it. Yeah? They want to we want to convey a value proposition to the customers to make sure that music retains and gains a value again. Yeah? It's a very, very hard and long way out of the bargain bin. Yeah? Think of the movie business, a DVD for €2 or something like that. Then the movie has no value. Free is nice, but also free has no value. It's free. How am I supposed to value something when it's free? Yeah? We're always chasing the partner, man or woman. That's the hardest to get. No one wants it for free or immediately. No, we want to work for it. Stabilize the consumer price. Vinyl in everything is way too expensive. Yeah? From manufacturing to everything, there is a value in it. Offer customers the right proposition in terms of packaging. And I think at the end of the day, to replicate, who's that president in the US? Mr. T?
I wish it was Mr. T.
Vinyl great again. I think it is very, very important. We want to have that format, but we want to do the format justice and we want to do the artist justice. Thank you very much, and thanks.
All right, we're going to take